Wait, that's not the right intro. That's not the right intro. That's the commercial break. Where do you put the actual intro? Oh, forget it. We're just going to go like this. We're going to take this down. We're going to go over here. What a great start to the show. And now I'm just kind of lost in everything. And there we go. Hello, fellow Hovians.
I was wondering, I'm like, oh, well, this is an interesting way of starting to show up. I mean, it kind of makes sense about what's going on with this episode. I mean, where we're heading. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, I like that countdown. I made it. I like it. But it's hello, I'm Dave. I am stepping into Christian's shoes today, and apparently not doing a great start of it. There it is. Oh, here we go. And now we can actually do the proper opening because I found it. It's just got a weird screen cap on it.
My name is Christian Basil. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend.
And hello, fellow Whovians. Now we got the proper intro. My name's Dave Chapman. I am not Christian Basil, who, as has already come up in the conversation, no, he is not here tonight. This is the joy of having moved our show to a Sunday. It's a little bit funky. But I'm not all alone. If you're watching, when I first tried to start this show, we have the wonderful Mackenzie Floor. Hello, everybody. Yes, there we go. Yes, that is correct. No Christian today. Also, hello, Ramona and Mark and David and Tom!
Woo!
And everyone else who's around. Yay! So, today we have part 3, chapter 3 of Flux.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. I think we're going to go in, I'll be singing Sondheim the entire time. And into the woods. Into the woods.
Probably, well, you started off on a good idea, yeah. Well,
okay.
I think the countdown actually is more significant than anything else.
I really hope that I saw what could have been a spoiler or could have just been a generic note about something, and now I'm starting to wonder. So
yeah,
we'll find out here in about 20 minutes.
Right. Well, in case people are wondering, yes, I already know what happened because thanks to 2 Doctor Who groups in Facebook, they just blasted it out, this picture, without even saying spoiler. And I'm like,
so we'll fix that right now. We'll go.
What?
Spoilers.
Oh. Fantastic.
yes. Very good.
I'm not going to show that picture. You emailed it to me. I'm not even going to look.
Good.
Until after this. I have spoiled the absolute heck out of the new Spider-Man movie. So many Marvel properties and DC properties. But this one I have not, and I'm quite happy to keep it that way.
Yeah, and I would prefer to keep it that way too, but it seems that when there's a spoiler, somehow I find out about these stuff. I mean, I talked about last episode how I knew about the monster coming back 6 months before it was actually officially announced. So these kind of things, I kind of they just happen. I find across this one, this one, I'm without spoiling anything with it. I could say there's a theory that me and Nisha were talking about in series 12, and that topic looks like it's going to be coming back tonight.
Ooh, Ramona. Wait till the Americans get to watch it. No, the Facebook link is not, in fact, working here or for Sci-Fi Radio. I reconnected them myself, and it didn't start going until we had gone live, saying there was an issue. So I don't actually know what happened there. But please watch it on here on YouTube. In fact, I really should bring up Facebook and put a note on there about that while we're talking. No, I'll do it over on this laptop because I'm going to be watching it without commercials, thankfully. Wonderful Mackenzie is going to... Yeah, no spoilers.
Yes, no spoilers.
Informed when the commercials happen so that I don't end up, 15 minutes ahead of everybody and then spoiling it by accident. But for now, let's go over here to the Facebook. And I suppose I should bring up the YouTube as well, just so I've got the actual link. Links are nice, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be such a chaotic show.
It's perfect because this week has been utterly chaotic. So it just kind of fits right in how things are going for how things have been this week. You have to really literally go with the flux of the flow. And yeah, I did mean that on purpose, saying flux.
Yes, I still have my all my Flux covers up here because I've got that. Use VPN and watch it on the BBC iPlayer. Yeah, that's the thing. I actually did that for the premiere. Oh, I should put that on the screen. I did that for the premiere because it was simulcast, which is why we are not at the same time as we were for episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them are not simulcast.
Yeah.
But I did manage to get a copy. Basically, that's how I ended up with a copy. We just will leave it at that without discussing any potential legalities of how I may or may not have acquired said thing. But yes, I said that is why I get to watch it without. I have to watch. I don't have cable. I don't even have access to cable anymore. The person that I would have normally gone to watch this at has gotten rid of their cable as well. We just have the appropriate streaming service. I'm going to pop over here. Yeah.
And I'm watching it through AMC Plus tonight. I'm doing that because my Philo still has this issue where it goes 15 minutes behind everybody, and that's even with the commercial. So we don't want that at all. So I'm streaming it right from AMC Plus, and I'm going to be streaming it here versus last week where I went to where I normally watch it because, well, my spouse is on the front line fighting COVID, and she's already had to work over 12 hours today. So I told her, go to bed. I'll watch down here.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a long day.
It's been a very long day. It's been a very long week. Yeah.
This week has been a long year.
Yeah.
It's basically how that's going. No, I missed the last episode. I just got to watch episode 2 earlier today. As for the last one, I was actually in Las Vegas in my real world, not on, streamness. I am also a photographer, and so I was in Vegas at a big wedding conference with one of the companies that I contract with. So I got to go and work my butt off in Vegas for a week. Lots of work and no play makes for a long week.
Yeah, I definitely can get that. Pretty much this week has been screen pitching. I've done multiples through IMD Pro. I'm getting ready to do some through LinkedIn. I did multiple query through Zoom this week. It's just been one of those very, very busy weeks. And I even have a friend that's a producer that he's a theater producer, so different from like a TV producer. And I sent him my script because he's interested in how things are. And he wrote back to me and he goes, "Can you meet this week? I want to talk to you about it." And I'm like, and he goes, "I have a lot to say." I'm like, yeah. I admit I'm nervous because you said you have a lot to say. He goes, "Oh no, I don't mean bad. I have a lot of good things. I have questions about how you're going to set things up and blah, blah, blah." I almost tempted to tell him to go watch the first episode of Doctor WHO Flux, because literally when I was watching the first episode, I kept thinking how much my screenplay reminded me of how chaotic that episode is. Mine does the same thing. So it was like, it was kind of weird in that way.
Yeah. Hi, Jan. Welcome.
Hello.
7 Central. Yeah, that's that's right. Yep, that's the same as we're gonna get to watch it here in about 15 minutes. So yes, I'm still trying to fix things over here, so I'm kind of half paying attention to both things, and that is awkward. No, I really don't know what to think. The last episode ended really kind of unusually, and not in a bad way. But I'm just trying to figure what are your predictions aside from the important points that have been spoiled for you.
Well, one of the things that I'm excited to see what happens, or curious, I won't say excited because that's not the right word, as a doctor would say, not excited. I'm curious to see how it plays out because BBC America already spoiled us on what happens to Yaz. So just kind of curious on how that's going to work out there. Besides the big spoiler that I saw 3 times, thanks Facebook.
Yeah.
And I know there's those sayers out there like, well, why were you on Facebook? Well, it turns out I was on Facebook because I have to go in. I have a screenwriter group where we have to be accountable. And so I was in that group. And then on my wall, boom, this photograph shows up. I'm like, I didn't want to see that, but yay! I mean, I had that kind of reaction.
Yeah, no, it's gonna. Nope, that's that. That's that question. There's something going on in the background that I saw that that did not happen. That's okay. Running to. So how about you guys out in the audience? Don't forget, you can certainly comment. Tell us what some of your predictions are for today's episode. And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Good on the rat holes page.
Yeah. I think there's another character that we got to see in last episode that I'm curious to know about their origin, who they are. There's a theory going around of who they may be. So I'm curious to see also on that. And also, I'm hoping that Claire will show up again possibly in this episode because there's this theory going around that it's another incarnation of Clara, which that'd be interesting if it actually turns out to be that, because then we might see me.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that theory.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a distinct possibility because she was in the Weeping Angels bit. And we know that one of the next episodes is a Weeping Angels focused episode.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a really good chance of that. Yeah, no, I don't know what. I'm bad at predictions, especially today. Oh, there we go.
It's working out
in the first episode. No spoilers.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you mean the episode that's coming up or this particular broadcast.
I'm going to lean towards both.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Because the quote that I heard was that this was the most Moffat episode without being a Moffat episode. Well, take it as you will on that comment.
I guess I have to change the banner now.
No, you don't. You can leave the banner alone. I just wanted to give you my blessings. I will not be on tonight. I've been having some issues. Some people know my personal social media issues. So,
yeah.
Were you able to connect the Traveling TARDIS? Because I don't see it connected.
I did, but then it errored out. Like it went for the first minute and seems to have errored out both here and on sci-fi.radio.com. So I put a note up on both of those to come watch it here on YouTube.
Okay, cool beans. Okay, yeah, we're just.
If you're coming from Facebook, subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're having issues currently right now with Facebook. You can still subscribe to the Facebook page. But yeah, correct, Jennifer. So, hey guys, I'm having some technical issues. For those of you who follow me on the Facebook page, right now my account has been hacked, and right now I don't even exist on Facebook. So you're more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to reach me. You can also reach me at the email at christian@hangingwithshow.com. Let me see if I can find that. But yeah, sadly I'm going to be bowing out. I've got some stuff to do, take care of things. But I don't want anybody to think that I just blocked them, or a lot of people. Hold on a second. Yeah, whereas you can advertise with us, but that's the best email to reach, Christian@hangingwithshow.com. So sadly, I'll be watching, and I will be actually being part of the chats. Hey, Ramona, I'll be part of the chats tonight, and I'll be watching at 8:00 when it premieres in 9 minutes there. Hey, David. Yeah, so I will not be on tonight. I apologize. And I got a lot of texts and other messages from like Twitter and Instagram going like, why did you block me? I'm like, I didn't block anybody. Somebody hacked my primary account and has completely borked things. So I don't even know if this is going to the original account. So I think, Dave, going forward, you're going to set up the studios and I just have to, and I'll give you all the information to paste and copy to it until my account gets settled. And by all means, if you work or know somebody who works at Facebook who could help me out, by all means, send me an email over there. Let me know. But yes, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you all for joining us tonight. I hope you have a great time and enjoy the episode. But I do got to bow out, take care of some things. I was going to be off the episode tonight, and I noticed for whatever reason the computer was still on and I was still in studio somehow.
I noticed that earlier today.
I was like,
and then I noticed it when you popped on a few minutes ago, and then went off, and then I'm like, oh, okay, no. That was for those who were wondering what that thing in the background was. It was Christian coming onto my screen down below, and then going away. Like, oh, is Christian joining us? No, Christian's not joining us. Okay, no. Christian has joined us just to say he's not going to be joining us.
But I will be in the chats. I will be on the YouTube channel, and I will be joining in the chat. So I'll be trying to listen off and on as possible. You were hacked because you dared to dislike the whole. Yeah, well, yeah, that could be it. But I think it was more of just somebody who managed to get my information, hack me, and it's really, it's not making for a great holiday season. But I want to make sure, protect yourselves, do that dual protection, whatever. And guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your accounts, make sure you're changing your password often. Subscribe to the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I might be coming back here later on in the week to do my review. I'll just come back solo to do a review if they'll let me. So you definitely want to be here at this the YouTube channel. Is it even Mackenzie? Can you even see if it's premiering on the YouTube channel?
Yeah, I can definitely.
It was. I'm fairly certain it was on the YouTube. Well, people are commenting from the YouTube channel, so it has to be on the YouTube channel.
No, I'm sorry, not YouTube. The Facebook page. The Facebook.
It went. I did. Like I said, I went there and checked. It came up and then stopped.
And then just stopped.
So there's like a 80, a minute or two on the sci-fi radio and here. And the TARDIS pages.
Well, later on, I'll have the team
Jennifer's talking, so it's working.
Yeah, later on. Well, what I'll do, Dave, is I'll send you the episode, and you can just upload it through the system. Through, I don't know what's going on, and it's really killing me. And I'm probably gonna have to make up a third account. So it's
really say that online. They'll see it and hear it.
You know what? Anybody on Facebook? I don't even have an account, so technically, I don't even have an account to begin with. So, if I need to do this, we need to do something. But Dave, thank you for taking over. Mackenzie, thank you for being here. And everybody in the chats, go for it. I'm going to be watching the episode, but I will be chatting through YouTube. So definitely be on the YouTube channel and subscribe. Thank you. Facebook is screwing with you for real. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. But guys, thank you. And I will see you later there. Have fun.
Take care.
Have a good one. So yes, there we go. That's going on there. Doop. Put that on. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. That'll just be fine. So yes, does anyone else have theories other than really kind of doesn't. But maybe it does actually. Now that I think about it, the last time I had issues with my Facebook like that, it did. Yeah, that wouldn't have helped, but that's okay. Ramona, is it live right now, or is it just the first little bit of it? Because I know the video loaded there and started. What's going on here? New base guys.
Ah.
Huh.
London Film Comic-Con. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I saw that Steel Comic-Con had announced that Catherine Tate will be there in, I think they're in Pittsburgh, if I remember. Steel Comic-Con is in Pittsburgh. And that will be in December 10th.
I am. Oh,
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Live on Facebook. There we go. So it's clearly sort of working. It says it's not. Like, I've still got big giant error messages saying, no, it's not doing it. But apparently it is. Now let's take a screenshot so I remember it says that. But all right. Yay. And yes, and apparently Tom sees nothing on Facebook. All right. Well.
Yeah.
3 minutes to showtime. People, 3 minutes to showtime.
Yeah. I can say I have more than one account, and one of my accounts has access to that Facebook page. So maybe I can get in.
Yeah.
See if I can figure out what's going on with it. But I'll have to put that on my list of looking at after the show.
Yeah, exactly. But it's gonna be, and we are about 3 or so minutes from starting the watch party. So like I said, we're gonna watch it with you guys out there, except for the people overseas who have already watched it. But it does go up here in a couple minutes, and Mackenzie will keep me apprised of when there's commercials. If Mackenzie disappears, could someone else tell me when there's commercials? Because I really don't want to be ahead of you guys.
Yeah, I will. At some point, I will go off cam for probably 5 minutes because I have a Frosty and I want to eat it before it melts. So I'm going to disappear, but you'll still hear me.
There you go. There you go.
No raspberries.
Only one man would dare give me the raspberry.
Ooh,
Lone Star.
You guys sounded a bit like Swarm there. Ooh.
Yeah, my voice is a little bit too low to do Rick Moranis. Sorry. We're not doing a show on Spaceballs, I promise. I forget where Mark Robinson is. Is he overseas? Go ahead, put it on. You're not. It's like Frosty's like a thick ice cream, or a thin ice cream, or a thick shake.
Yeah. Oh, he's never seen one before?
It's I think it's a North American thing. It's a Wendy's thing, so it's basically North America.
Yeah.
Can you still turn it upside down? Or is it melting too much?
Yeah, it will literally melt. I mean, you can't really see it very well. Let's see. Yeah. A lot of this is melted, but to kind of get the texture of it, it's literally like. Yeah.
It's a very, very, very thick milkshake.
Yeah, very, very thick milkshake. Very, very, it has lots of calories, what I've been told.
Yes.
So that's not good for somebody like me who has high blood pressure, but, you know, the week that I've been having, I just...
It's going to bring it'll actually bring your blood pressure down.
Go to bed.
You need your snacks to bring the blood pressure down and relax you. Yeah, thick shakes, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much. The whole shtick on it when it's fresh is you can basically stick the spoon and it'll stand straight up. You can even turn it upside down if they're made properly.
Yeah, I mean normally mine are melted because they melt.
Timing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's maybe all Wendy's milkshakes bring the boys to the yard. Mm-hmm. Except one of them's a clown, and we don't want to deal with him, and the other one just thinks he's the king of the world, and he's not know that. And, hey, at least Wendy's at least Wendy's has a nice RPG. Wendy's a nerd like the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I have a copy. I still haven't played it. Apparently, it's not bad. Oh, here we go. Whoa. It's time. It's time. So I'm going to put in some headphones.
I learned in the immediate aftermath of the Flux.
Oh, we gotta mute you. There we go. Oh, come off it. It's a day, Mark. It's a day. I was fairly sure, but I also know like a bazillion and a half marks. Good for a half an hour stirred. Bell's story. I have some upstairs, Mark. Ooh. Yum. I really do like the new version of the theme. I know we're in year 3 of it, so it's not really new, but I really still do like it. Chapter 3, Once Upon a Time. Oh, we have an Alice in Wonderland moment. Yay. I feel like I'm a little bit off in where I got started, but oh, come on now, David. Everyone loves corny whoosh music and sound effects. That's probably a good call, Tom. That's probably a good call. We all know the Big Finish scripts are way better. Oh, Christian.
Qualified highest in all
Back to
streams.
show.
Exceptional Honours Award. And accommodation for saving the life of 3 colleagues on your most recent mission.
Hello, Alicia. We're watching the show live together, so I hope you're here. Haha. That is, I think he's definitely playing to his strengths with this series, definitely, as opposed to the last two where it really wasn't. Tom is not a happy person with this. It happens. Loki does Doctor Who, and now Doctor Who's doing Loki. And we know the BBC doesn't do effects. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, I plan to. I believe so, Tom. Yes.
Back to commercials. This is serious stuff.
My kind of day.
I'm a few seconds off. Sorry. We were at a commercial. Did you say, Mackenzie? Okay.
Yes. Steve Translate speaks your language.
I was just ever so slightly out of sync with everybody. So I
Google Pixel
at
6
the end of this particular.
for all you are.
Now I think I am. I'm
Making your
enjoying
ears
it
proud doer.
mostly. It's a little bit chaotic, especially because I'm bouncing between things. And I'm definitely going to have to watch it again. I don't know if it's clumsy, because some of the comments in here are kind of saying it's kind of clumsy, and I don't know that that's it so much as this is a 6-part thing, and this is part of it. Like last week was definitely some setup. This one just seems, yes, Christian. Last week was definitely set up for something. This is the middle of something.
Yeah, like this one for me, I've seen a lot of like screenplay elements where it has a lot of this is happening and then this is happening, and I can see where people would say that it feels like clumsy, but I don't think it necessarily is the story itself that's clumsy, and maybe it has to do with the way it's being presented, because it does kind of jump all over the place, and it kind of like a soap opera. That's what it's doing. It's doing a technique that's very common in soap opera, where it will jump from character to character or scene to scene to scene. So it's doing a lot of soap opera technology or techniques. And if you're not familiar with how the soap opera industry works or the soap opera world works, this would seem definitely chaotic or clumsy to somebody on the outsider. But to me, I grew up watching soap opera, so for me, it feels fine. But I agree with you. I probably have to have a second watch just because I don't like watching stuff with commercials. That's really, it throws me out every time.
That's fair. I mean, I'm enjoying it after once. I think this is one of those shows, and honestly, this is not the only episode. There's been a lot of most Doctor Who, quite frankly, that I try to watch at least twice to really appreciate everything.
Absolutely.
There's a lot crammed in there.
Even like with Binge Watcher Guide, I watched the episodes for Series 11, which I still have yet to write all my comments down for series 12. I watched those probably 3 or 4 times because just so I could get, every time I watch it, I see something different that I never noticed before. Like I was watching the episode with River Song, the very first episode of River Song with David Tennant's doctor, and I had noticed the very first time, and I've seen that episode probably 1,000 times, how very first time she was acting like she thought that the doctor was was joking. And I'm like, why did I never notice that before? And it was like so obvious I could tell it, but just didn't notice it before.
Yeah. I don't know the reference, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And I can certainly see that where that opinion is. Yeah.
Yes, piloting a ship.
We're back.
Yep, we're back.
Watching planets crumble and space lanes fill with debris.
Have we seen her somewhere before? No. I've got you muted, Mackenzie, but no. Okay. She looks familiar from somewhere, so probably just some other show. Yeah. Is that how that works? I never actually figured out how that works. Now I know. Christian. I might like his jacket. I'm not sure. I either like it or hate it. I can't quite tell. But I certainly hate his hair. We are still watching it, yes. Yay for having to watch it in North American time. Valid point. Once upon a time versus twice upon a time, preferring twice upon a time. Oh. Everyone's got very different opinions, from good and bad, and that's not a bad thing either. Ah!
More Carbana. And since I haven't been able to see anybody's talking since I've been watching the episode, and Dave has me muted on purpose because that way we don't get unsynced.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you, Beowulf. I'm very impressed by the Flux so far as well. I definitely have to say this episode. I know for me, I have to watch it another time, not because of the episode, but because I'm used to watching it on a big screen, and because of circumstances that's going on in real life, I have to watch it on a screen that's like 3/4 the size that I'm used to. So I'm not catching all the stuff that I normally would. So I need to definitely watch it a second time.
Yeah, and I'm in the same boat where I was like, before I was watching it on Surprise TV.
I almost think that if Christian does do his thing where he does a review later in the week, maybe we can go back and join on then, because then we'll get to watch it again, and then we can give our full thought of it at that moment. At least that's what I'm going to do. I plan on watching 1, 2, and 3 all at once again, because these commercials, ugh. This is one thing I'm very envious about the British, is that they don't have to deal with commercials like this, instead of just being thrown out, or you have bad editing, or in the case of BBC America, where they purposely slash stuff and just cut things out. I don't know if this series they do it as badly as they did, but like during the Matt Smith and Tennant eras, oh boy,
yeah,
bad.
I don't know if Flux specifically would look better or worse on a projector. I suppose it kind of depends on your setup. Because one thing I've definitely noticed is the it's much more cinematic.
Yes. Yeah.
In look and feel.
And like, if they was able to watch it in the theaters, I would love to see it, especially IMAX. Just to see it on an IMAX theater, I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. Just mind blown.
Totally mind blown.
Apparently it looks good. Well, there you go. Ah, yes, there we go. And for those just tuning in, yes, Christian got hacked.
Yeah.
So, no, if you're watching and you think he blocked you, he did not. Some tantalizing ideas here and there, but it's just fragments in a mix master. Okay. No, that's totally fair. I get. I can. This is definitely one of those things that is one side or the other. There's not a lot of in betweenness with the opinions on this one.
Yeah, that seems to be a lot. This is one episode where I'm getting a lot of you either hate it or love it. There's no in between.
No, exactly. Less so than a lot of things, quite frankly.
Yes.
Although I am finding a lot more shows, movies, everything are turning into less middle ground. There's not a lot of people going, it was okay, and a lot more, oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. And a lot of it is because of, and it's called the binge watch model, the binge watch TV model. And that's actually the same model that I follow for the Ray to Juan series. And that's it's not like really a new model per se. It came out within the last like 10 years, but a lot of shows are going that direction. Oh, we're back in.
Okay.
You're in here for a reason. Fix a few.
Yes, something like that. Yeah, we'll find out. Commercial mark.
Ouch. That was a hard landing. Even in the future, they have Tamagotchis. Good one, Tom. Oh, crap. That's a really good guess, Mark. I don't know. Definitely seems reasonable.
Back to commercials.
I'm not sure if I had her behind him between those scenes, so I'll just leave it. Yeah, no. I'm gonna rewind because it's off topic. So might as well wait for commercial. Mark want to know what jersey I'm wearing. So this was the this is the Team Canada, Quidditch Canada's World Cup jersey from two World Cups ago. In this one was in Munich, I believe. Munich? Somewhere in Germany. I think it was in Germany. This one, but yeah, it was a very this one went over so well that like at the next World Cup, half the jerseys had this same fractal
Oh,
to it. It was really kind of neat to see that everyone copying us the next year. The current jersey, and the current World Cup has been delayed by several years, so but is going to look so good on this camera because I can't wait to get one, but I have to wait because they give me one because I'm a photographer for them, amongst other things. So I have to wait. I hate waiting. But where are we at here? But yeah, no, that was a great thought there, Mark.
yeah. I definitely recognized that. It definitely made me think of the era from that world that Capaldi took.
Yeah.
Bill to, and that made me even wonder if this person might even be from that planet before it went all crazy as it did when all the emotes took over.
Yeah. Let's see.
And then it made me wonder if this person could even be another Doctor. Just this last couple scenes really made me think. I'm like, oh, is this maybe another Doctor? Which that again goes back into the theory that Nisha and I had. We had two different theories going on in this episode so far. I'm now leaning back to my original theory that I had, which was that all of this is taking place between 2 and 3's incarnation, because there is a period of time when between second and the third Doctor, there was another Doctor that went off and worked for like the government, and this definitely seems to be some type of government-ish type of Doctor who doesn't take no nothing, and that would be the reason why the Swarm talking about killing. Well, it sounds like this Doctor really didn't
pull their punches.
Followed by the Doctor's rules. So that would be, why would the Doctor not? You want to forget this version of the Doctor. And
it's an interesting placement if that is where that is, because then because 3 was the action Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be like the mellowing of the Doctor again.
Yes. And that was my original theory. And a lot of people were like, oh, no. It has to be from, like, Anisha thought it was a Doctor that came from an alternate universe, which I was for that too, originally because of the monster just coming back abruptly. But if this is another version of the Doctor between 2 and 3, which I think is more plausible, then it makes me wonder, is the monster that we see now, is this monster actually Joe's monster from right from the start? And because where's the monster in this version? We haven't met him or her. So is this then, or unless the Swarm, which is another theory, is that the Swarm is the original form of the Time Lord before Jodie's Doctor or the Doctor fled Gallifrey. So it's interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm as the episode goes on, I'm liking at least liking the bits more.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not sure what the flow.
Thank you, my valued Alphorian friend.
Valid point, Ramona. Dum dum dum. Very valid. Yep. Not a lot of happy people. Well, we're glad you're still with us there, Mark. I know it's definitely getting late overseas for sure. Glad you're here as well. Yes.
And commercials are back. And my internet connection keeps going. Tom said dump. When he said that, my internet on the froze for probably, I don't know, a good minute or two there.
Tom, you broke the internet. No, things are starting to tie together interestingly. So this is kind of good.
No, that's good, because the part that I missed was that part of where things are tying together with the ship, because I was at that part where they were doing the recording, stopped the recording, and then suddenly, boom, and it froze. And that thing is, an incident happened.
He basically he said, nope, I'm reporting this because that's not what I'm supposed to do. And his commanding officer went, well, I can take this report or I cannot take this report. Take the report. No, I'm not taking the report, and you're going off to the middle of nowhere. Enjoy Siberia. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
And yes, welcome to
we do.
America.
That's exactly why I say I have to watch the episode a second time, and it's not because of any whether the story is bad or good. It's a simple fact is we have an episode for us is 45 minutes is a normal episode, and the rest is all commercials. And there's usually about 4 or 5 different breaks of these commercials. So if it's a longer episode, then BBC America has to go and actually edit it and cut it so that we lose content. So we might not actually see everything that is over in the UK. I was told, though I can't confirm it myself, that I was told that the very first episode, there was a significant amount actually cut from the first episode. No, I can't confirm that.
I thought it was Cyblecast, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I was told that too, that it was Cybercast, but the UK didn't get any of the commercials, so...
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like there was the second episode was showing a longer runtime online when I looked too. So maybe it was the second episode that got something cut.
Yeah, something
that makes more sense.
Yeah, and it would not surprise me because that was done a lot in that Smith era. I know it was happening to that.
That was the conversation right there.
Loyal to the office, or
Yeah.
man in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, that the one that's supposed to be the superior, do you think that is Swarm as a human? Because it looks like the same costume. So it makes me think, if, let's say, Swarm is that theory that's going around, is the essential what the Time Lords were before the Time Lords came into existence, where they could take a human form. Is the Doctor actually looks like Swarm then?
I don't think so, because that's happening like nowish, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not happening in a weird place in the time loop, right? Or as we can tell, I guess it doesn't really. We don't really know, but it definitely doesn't seem like that. Not live. I don't think it's on Amazon Prime anymore at all. Full stop.
Not anymore. I used to get all my episodes through Amazon. Now they force you to go to AMC Plus, and you can only see the new episodes. All the previous episodes you have to go to HBO Max.
Yeah. And through and in Canada we can get it through Crave, which is also who carries most of the HBO Max stuff. So.
And we're back.
Yep. Exactly. Oh, look, you're you again. Hmm. We want pictures, Ramona.
Control of your finances.
Another commercial.
At Carvana, get personalized terms, browse for cars that fit your budget, then customize.
4 minutes left.
Yeah.
Jeez. My goodness. Yeah, even if you don't like the show, please like us and this show. Please and thank you.
Yeah. And now I'm thinking, but this is bringing up another thought that I was thinking. I was nodding my head because of saying the flux, like, what? This has to be the doctors that's caused this.
Mm-hmm.
If it is thinking, oh, here's another theory. What if Joe Martin's doctor is part of the Valyard? Because the Valyard was supposed to be the doctor's bad era.
Yeah.
So could possibly somehow this become... Somehow they had to twist it around, take the doctor's memory, make him good again.
Yeah.
And eventually the Valyard came out. Well, is it possible that there was a split where there's the Valyard and there's still the doctor? So their doctor becomes their doctor. Valyard becomes the Valyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look for. I will have to go hunting, Ramona. Thank you. That sounds awesome. She's got a she shed. That's awesome. No, I'm liking the episode more as the episode went on. The first half was a little, second half it's deeper. It's gone from completely just to okay, no, there's a reason for this, which I kind of expected would happen, but it is definitely seriously though, 4 minutes left and we got another commercial.
Yeah, I know. It's just
that is a little excessive and crazy.
I'm very looking forward to rewatching this without commercials so we can say, did anything get cut?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really curious.
Exactly. But it is interesting that he's like, oh, is this a TARDIS?
Yeah, I found that interesting too. How does he know the TARDIS? So obviously, if he knows about the TARDIS, then he knows either he knows the Time Lords or he knows whoever created the TARDISes originally.
Right. Or grew them originally, because don't TARDISes grow from crystals?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And I can see how he's saying, oh, this TARDIS can get me back. I was like, my brain was going, oh no. He's going to try to use it to his advantage and things are going to go haywire.
Yeah. Is he a companion or is he a future enemy?
Yeah, that definitely made me wonder about that. And it made me go back to Capaldi's error, which about a thought on that. And that's when, when his doctor became blind at one point, and then he took something from a future incarnation that they would take away. Is it possible that this event, this one last memory that Jodie's doctor has said has, even though we can't see it, has already restarted the regeneration process, and she just doesn't know it yet?
That is distinctly possible.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of all got sucked into, that moment, that
Yeah.
light flashing before your eyes kind of thing.
Yeah. I have a bad feeling that this has started it off. And here we're back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was saying the right.
Hmm. Yes, please, Tom. We want to hear. Oh, that's not good. Wow. So I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch Timeless Child, because it wasn't one of the big scenes a small Asian girl.
Yes, I do believe so. Yes, there was a small Asian girl. And yeah, I'm wanting to watch Fugitive of the Jejune. Timeless Child, and then 1, 2, and 3 going all without commercials.
Mhm.
I have not done that yet, just to see how. Definitely, I'm feeling like Jo Martin's Doctor is a lot more darker than she was presented originally, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because I
I think
love
it's just getting to know her
the dark versions of the Doctor. I mean, for me in the current era, Peter Capaldi's Doctor is my Doctor because he's dark.
Yeah. I don't know that she was darker than first presented so much as just getting to know her more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was pretty obvious she was dark.
Yeah.
There's a theory. TARDIS exploding again. Matt Smith TARDIS having a tsunami effect because Jo Martin's TARDIS was buried in the ground in the lighthouse. That's a thing. Yes,
there's
excited.
There's got to be another TARDIS out there. There definitely has to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely the time stream. I would think that the two TARDISes being close to. If I remember correctly, and I don't know if this is from the show or if this is from Big Finish. That Big Finish, I know Big Finish did talk about it at one point that two TARDISes could not exist in the same time stream at the same time. If I'm remembering that correctly. But I'm not sure.
Because I mean, there's definitely been other TARDISes. Because I mean, the Master has had a TARDIS at the same time in the same place.
Yeah,
like, we've seen multi-TARDIS things before.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, like the Doctor's TARDIS can't be in the same time stream.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like how happened in the 50th in the Light episode where the various TARDISes were all dying.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking it might be a Big Finish thing. Is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Night, David. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you next week anyway. No, I like I said, I had a thought at one point early on that Belle was actually, again, another iteration of the Doctor.
Mm-hmm. I had thought that too. Now,
and then
wife.
yeah, I was gonna say, and now as soon as she said, "Oh, she's got a kid coming," maybe not.
Yeah,
she could be one of a few different people, right?
Mm-hmm.
She could be an incarnation of the Doctor's daughter. She could be the Doctor's mother. She could be, right? There could be a connection there. There probably isn't. If nothing else, then the writing on his uniform is nothing even remotely close to Gallifreyan. But anything is certainly possible. I certainly like Belle's character. She's definitely got some great action vibes going on.
Definitely. She does have the compelling character, which is I guess one of these times I should do a full explanation of what the binge watch actual model is, because she is a perfect example of an intriguing character who has multiple layers, which is what you try to strive for, and what did not get, at least in series 11. She got it more in series 12, but still not enough. Other than she really likes the Doctor, and she's had some mental illness issues and likes to be a policewoman. I still don't understand her character. For all companions, at least in the current era, she's the least one that I understand. And I find that kind of hard for me to believe or accept, because of the fact that I have a history of PTSD, AVPD, and severe depression. So in that aspect, I would think I would really connect to Yaz, but I don't.
Right. But I don't know. Yeah, lots of TARDIS conversation in the comments there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can definitely see on both ends of this why people are loving it, because I definitely am. And I can certainly see why some people are definitely not. There was the comment, I think it was David had made, that Chibnall's kind of, playing it. He didn't phrase it quite as flatteringly, but he's playing to his strengths with this series. And he says it's not working. Well, I'm not sure that it's not working. We won't really know if it's working until we get to the end.
Right.
That is the downside to explicitly being a set serialized story arc. Mm-hmm. That's, go back to any serialized anything, and that tends to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
I
I have to agree with that. I would have to say from like if we go based off of for screenplay writing, if we go based off the model, the binge TV model, Chibnall this particular so far, he has nailed it A+. He has gotten every single element that's needed so far to have that model actually be good, which I saw that in series 12. The series 11, I was like, but I believe it was because it was episodic versus serial. Serial is totally different. And that's
Very
what
much.
serial is very much, you have to have an arc, a beginning and end, and yet every episode has to have a cliffhanger or something that makes the audience keep on wanting to watch, which is why they call it binge TV. Because most people will be literally sitting and binge watching it.
But I mean that same model, I mean, it's new in context of, you know, the modern era, but it's really not the structure of it is not new. That's original talkies.
Yes.
Filmmaking. Like that's when you went to the film, you know, you went to the cinema and you got like a newsreel, because that's where the only place you get your news visually. And you got, you know, maybe a cartoon, eventually a cartoon, but also you got a little serialized 15-minute Flash Gordon or Batman or Superman, but it was only this, not, you know, part of this. And so it's, and again, yeah, it always left you with a giant cliffhanger. Yeah, I agree. I'm loving it as well. It's like, it is definitely a classic way to do it. Check Legend Chat on Facebook. I'm not sure what that is. That's okay. We'll find it. Yeah, Christian was saying that Yaz definitely suffered from the too many companions problem, which I think is, I like the dynamic between them, but yeah, no, it definitely should have been either Yaz or the other two, not all three. Because they worked, but yeah, Ryan just didn't get to shine at all. Yaz kind of got dulled down a bit. Graham was great. Kind of just full stop.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Graham. He's great.
Yeah.
Especially Jack. Jack really, really loved him. And
that actually brings up bringing up Captain Jack. That actually is something that we can also talk about. There has been this rumor that's been going on for a while and has been debunked multiple times, yet people are still stuck on saying that Vinegar was written because Jack was not, with this whole thing that was going on with the real life era of the character or the actor. And being that it's been debunked, no, Vinegar was not created to replace Captain Jack. He is a character that was created completely off on the side.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was great. Now I have to be honest about my preference. I also really love just serialized anything. You know, I do have DVDs of the old serialized Flash Gordon. I never got them, but I had in my box that, you know, the old 1930s serialized Batman and serialized Superman. I listen to old radio dramas that are largely like that. My favorite Star Trek is Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. Because
of that. And similarly, I like Discovery because of it. But yeah, it's
actually, that's one thing I love about Discovery as well. And that was one thing that I did study in my screenwriting classes. I actually studied Walking Dead because we had to, in our case, when we had to choose a project that was similar to what we were writing. And for me, I couldn't choose Doctor Who because of, obviously I've watched Doctor Who to death, so I can't really criticize it or look at it from a new perspective anymore. So I looked at Walking Dead since it had that kind of darkness, and that's very similar.
Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah. There we go. Yep. There we go. There you go. Yeah.
And I actually want to look at Deep Space Nine again, just because of what they're going to do with the new season of Picard, because a lot of it, there's certain things in Deep Space Nine that are going to be changed potentially, based on what I'm hearing is happening with Picard for series 2. So that should be very, very interesting. And
Yeah.
I agree 100% there with Whovian Wanderer. The one thing that Chibnall has always excelled at is drama. In fact, last night I was watching a rerun of Matt Smith's Doctor, and there was that episode with the creatures, the race has completely gone with the lizards.
Yeah.
That I, for some reason, did not remember that Chibnall had written that particular episode where that went from underground. I was like, I watched it last night. I'm like, wow, for Chibnall, this was actually a really good episode for him when it was a single episode.
Yeah.
So that's one thing he's always excelled at is drama. He's very good at that. And I know that some people criticize Doctor Who right now saying that it feels too much soap opera-y, but that's really what his strength is drama, the intrigue, unshedding those layers, little bit at time, still teasing the audience to keep on watching. That's what he's good at. I honestly wish that this writing that he's doing now, maybe it's because he was decided that this was the time that he had to leave, that this is the time he's going to do his best writing. I wish that this had been right at the beginning and had been the whole way. I really do. That was the one thing I probably would regret about his era, is that I wish he had stayed with this, but maybe he would agree with that too.
Yeah, it's sorry. Okay, sorry. Downside to having two screens going.
Yeah, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. No, that was a different one. That was also one that Chibnall wrote. This one had to do with the lizards, where they were underground and they had to be put in a chamber or stasis for 1,000 years before.
Yeah,
the yes.
Silurians.
Yes. Them. Yes. Silurians. There we go.
Meanwhile, I'm knocking other books down. All right. That is the downside to this background. It doesn't take much to knock crap down. But no, yeah, it's I'm. We got 3 down, 3 to go. I think we are definitely at a point where it's like, okay, are we at that hump, right? Are we at that climax where things can start making sense? Or are we got another episode of what to go? Because that it's hard to gauge his speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this, yes, there you go, exactly.
Yes,
and that's another thing. I remember, and I've said this on a previous episode somewhere, when they put out Power of the Daleks, the second Doctor episode, as it was one of the lost episodes. They still had the audio track, so they animated it, and it was mediocre animation. It was very Archer-esque. But that aside, the pacing on not specifically that story arc, but that era of story arcs is so drastically different than what we have now. They released that into the theater.
Yeah.
And it was not quite sold out, but it was reasonably well attended when I went to see it, because they only aired it for like 1 or 2 nights. But there were people walking out. And I really believe it was just their use. We as a modern society are used to this, right? We're used to very, very fast, very, very, engaging. Whereas the older style was a lot slower and a lot more drawn out.
Oh yeah, it's like,
and people just weren't used to it.
I would agree with that, because that the older style is almost like you would take this episode and make it into a novel.
Yeah,
and that novel is like not like 100 pages, but we're talking like 500 pages.
Yeah, and I think they could do. I actually am curious to see if they end up doing that with these, because they've definitely not done novelizations on a lot of them in the past. So it'd be kind of neat. I almost want to just at the end of a straight up box set.
Yes.
Of this done and expanded a little bit. But would that ruin this?
Well, I think it
Well-
depends on maybe the episode itself. It's from taking something to take the perspective of it. I have to look at it from the aspect of taking a book and making it a screenplay. So from doing that with my Right of Wands, I can say my pilot, 99% of it was brand new material that I had not written in any of my books yet, because it just didn't fit for the screen of what the story that I wanted to tell and the way that I wanted to tell it. It just didn't work as the book form. It didn't have that pull that, I need to know what's going on right now. That it just more like
different pacing. Yeah,
totally different pacing. So I would have to say that it not necessarily would be a bad thing. I think it actually might be even easier taking something from a screenplay and making it into a novel, because that's one thing I would love to do, is take my screenplay that I've written and make it into a book form, just because of how drastically different. It didn't change the story or the message that I wanted to tell, but it has expanded my universe so much that I can make a bunch of different storylines out of it, and it didn't exist then the way it was initially.
It's basically human Google Translate.
Yeah.
you take the thing, you translate it, then you translate it back, and then just watch where it goes. Let the chaos ensue. Oh, that's a terrible plan now, because he's going to go Google Translate your entire book 3 times.
I'd be afraid to do that. I'd be more like, there is something that we are looking that one of my screenplay classes are actually looking at, and there's this, I don't know what it actually is, but it's a robot. A robot got to see like 100 different studied 100 different or 1,000 different of the same genre, and then it had to make a story based on all these different ones that it saw of drama, and it did it, and it actually did it in a way that it actually made sense. Yeah, I'd love to see something like that done see what they would do with Doctor Who. just have a laugh.
I don't know if Dickens was serialized originally. I don't think so, or maybe some of his stuff, but that was definitely a lot of stuff was that, especially the pulpier stuff, was definitely serialized. Sherlock Holmes, even, just so much. That was just the style. That was how you hooked it. It was the comic books before comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And then comic books stopped doing it. And then comic books started doing it. Comic strips were doing it. Then comic books went, oh, this is enough because we're used to doing it in this much. Well, we've got the entire story arc that we did in now and this, so we only have to do the individuals. And then suddenly you've got Millennium, and you've got Secret Wars, and you've got crossovers galore, and oh my god.
Oh, yes. So they going back to like seeing Doctor Who books or what we'd like to see as novels, as much as I hated Orphan 55, that's one I actually would like to see as a novel, because I think it would make sense.
And the extra bet in a novel, you won't get Benny. Just kill Benny and her, please. Let just throw her out the airlock. Let them get her. Benny! Shut up. Oh, I hated that woman so much. I just wanted her to die. And I'm not someone who ever wants someone to die, but I really wanted her to die. Tear.
Or if not die, at least have to take the Sonic and be like, shush.
Yep.
If only the Sonic could do that.
Does the future have duct tape?
Who's to say?
Apparently not, because they didn't use it on her. So, where are we at here? We're coming up on. Where's my pen? No. All right, so here's what I think we're gonna do. We're coming up on 2 hours. So I mean, obviously an hour of that was watching the show, but let's wrap this up in about 4 minutes, give or take. I think that's a reasonable amount of time to do that. Any last thoughts on today's episode?
I can't wait to watch it again. And I'm not even going to give it a rating because I want to see what my thought is now compared to when I rewatch it, see if my rating is going to change.
I agree. If for no other reason than, again, I had to kind of split my attention a little bit on it.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to give it a rating at all. Sorry, Christian.
Yeah, sorry,
but yeah, no,
Christian.
I definitely want to watch this again. Again, and I will probably do the same as you. I did watch the other 2 episodes today, and I will probably rewatch them again. All 3 of them together. I know Kevo, who was going to be on the episode, and I think he lost his internet. Just as things went haywire, his cable. So that was his plan as well, was to watch all 3 because he has not actually been able to catch up.
Yeah, and speaking of, do you have access to Classic Who at all?
Not. We're going to just ignore the definition of having access to, and I'll say yes.
Okay, because what I'm gonna find out what episode it was, because I'd like to have somebody besides myself watching the 3, and then there's a classic Sontaran episode with the 3rd Doctor. That this last episode is supposed to make more sense if you watch that, and that for me, I either have watched it and I don't remember, or it's a part of the 3rd Doctor's era that I'd have to see. So I'm kind of curious on that.
Yeah, send it to me. I've seen, maybe that's an extra episode somewhere in there.
Yeah,
because this is definitely the older Sontaran look.
Yes,
for sure.
It definitely is.
And I've seen a bunch of a bunch of people. Yes, I know. I'm familiar that BritBox exists. Yes. That's not particularly how I have them, but yes, I'm familiar that BritBox exists, if you are so inclined, by all means, please go get BritBox, because you can get all of your Doctor Who fix and all of your Red Dwarf fix and all of your everything else fixed. All things British.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I definitely, I would love to. I've seen a lot of 3rd Doctor. I don't know if I have or have not seen this particular one. Pluto TV. Yeah, I'll have to look that one up too. But I'd love to do that. How I've been doing my classic Doctor stuff is with my reviews. So here's the me pitch time. Yeah. So I've got, EG's book. But there's the Doctor Who role-playing game, and they have all of the Doctors. I'll grab my 9 that's on the floor. And they all fit together. You can kind of see that's starting to build. But I started with 8, and then 7, and they have kindly sent me 6 and 5.
Ooh.
So the next Doctor I will be looking at will be, of course, 6. Not. What did I do? Somehow those got out of order. 6.
Yeah.
Looking not blind. I've been working my way backwards through it, but I had started with a lot of the 3rd Doctor stuff years and years and years ago. So I have seen it. I really enjoy it. He was, until I really got into, and actually no, until I met Sylvester McCoy, is really when the 7th Doctor became my Doctor. But after him would be easily John Pertwee. Like I really enjoyed that series, for as weird as it is within the Doctor WHOniverse. I really did enjoy it. So definitely send me whichever one that is.
Yeah, I will look it up and find that out. And I invite Christian also, because he was as critical as me, I think, as in the last episode, because both of us didn't understand why the Sontarans whined that. So maybe we'll both understand this if the 3 of us work together.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So. Anything? What do you got to promote aside from the usual? You've got the usual. Promote the usual. Don't. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I actually right now I don't have anything writing wise that I'm promoting other than I'm querying literally to death with these for trying to find producers and managers and all that to take the next step with my screenplay. So that's where I am right now. I know that I'm going to be doing the Binge Watcher Guide. I'm going to be doing that, and I will be working on the next Right of Wands book, though I can't say least for Right of Wands. We will not be seeing another, if I stay with the same publisher, we won't see another book for another 3 years because that's the way they work. And yeah.
All right. No,
Binge Watcher Guide doesn't have that restriction.
That's fair.
Because they're not traditional. It's with a different publisher. If you're a traditional, you're pretty much stuck where it doesn't matter. If you finished your book yesterday, it's still going to be another 3 years before it gets
when published. They place it. Yeah. No. As for me, on top of all of my reviews, I do have a something special going on. We are doing a giveaway over on the rathole.ca and all of my own social media. I've got a handful of indie creators that are giving me copies of their role-playing games. I've got a couple more that I may be talking with to add to that package, so the package could actually get bigger. And we're giving, so all you have to do, you can see at the bottom there, Linktree. I'm using my cursor, like you can see my cursor on the screen. At the bottom there, if I get rid of the banner, you got my thing, the Linktree address, linktr.ee/therathole.ca. It has links to all of the entries. Just, it's your usual like, share, follow me on all of the social media and on YouTube. And I do have, we'll be giving that away on the 29th. I'm doing an interview with the amazing award-winning podcaster and game master Jeff Stormer. We're going to be talking about indie RPGs and probably moving into some Christmas stuff. That is the beginning of the our yearly Christmas series.
Ooh.
We every year, and I've done this since before the Rat Hole opened. I used to do it when I was writing for comic books. I tried to always do a little bit of this, in that I would always try and get a couple of Christmas stuff out. With this site, from American Thanksgiving, or as the rest of the world calls it, Thursday, until Christmas. It's the Rat Hole is all Christmas, all winter holidays, which just effectively, unfortunately, means Christmas. If I had, if anyone knows any tabletop games on other winter holidays in that same time frame, I've got a New Year's game here, a Black Friday game there, but most of it is just your traditional Christmas. So I would love to expand that, but we do right now a bunch of Christmas stuff coming up. I've got because this counts as Christmas. It's Nightmare Before Christmas. That's actually just before we launch, but I've got some great stuff coming up on all Christmas long. All November, we're focusing on indie games as well on the role-playing side of things. So having Jeff on is going to be a great kind of a bumper between the two, because he does all these indie games that are a style I don't play.
Sounds exciting. And not to interrupt you there, I do see two people in chat, Beowulf and Dan, have both said that Time Warrior is the episode that I'm thinking of, that I couldn't think of. There you go. So that's
I was just coming back to it. So those, but yeah. Yes, I think we have the Blu-ray box sets over here.
Yes, we do. We do.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, confirm there. Yeah, it's Time Warrior.
Experiment. Oh, okay.
Everyone's saying Time Warrior. It seems to be the.
That's what everybody's. Yep, there's 3 people who are saying that, so looks like that's going to be the winner.
I love it, Ramona. I love it. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for hanging out with me, Mackenzie. Thank you, Christian, for letting me, sit here and kind of ruin your show. Maul it like a cat and a mouse or something. I don't know. But and thank you everyone who's put up with it. We'll be back next week. We might have an episode on Tuesday. I don't know if we have a special Tuesday episode or not, because technically right now the regular time is the special time, and this is the regular time and something. Anyway, but we'll be back next week for part 4, which is the village of the angels or something like that.
Yeah, weeping angels. Yeah, and if maybe we can work it out that between now and then we'll work with Christian, and so we can all get a rating together.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah, exactly. All right, so I will come over here and we will do the whole closing of the show because I can. There it is.
Yes, on time.
Have a good night, all.